I'm about to get ready for work. How y'all doing? It's Music Ideas, and I just wanted to do a commentary, and it inspired me to make a video, which I will touch base on, and I'm now following Check Out Experience on Instagram. No, I'm not stalking. It's just some of the stuff that. One thing, let me let you know. I said in my videos, I live around people who have similar or same views. So if you see me following or your social media, anybody, I'm going to do that because I like to be around. You know, you're in the lion's den with a bunch of people who have different views and they want you to fit in, and you don't conform to their views. They want to persecute you and tell me they doing. Nah. I like hanging with people. It's a birthday and family together. So anybody that thinks the same way or similar that I think, that's the reason why. So we're going to do a video because I'm watching Viva La Vida Raza is a racist thing. But one thing he said that Mexican people are told not to fly the Mexican flag and not to be ashamed of who they are and why you find them Mexican in America and all other stuff. Well, it's the same thing with those African Americans who are mixed like I am. My parents, and this is not a lie, are not 100% African. And we was taught from the one drop rule to claim that. So back in slavery days, this is why I get called a coon, but the people who support the one drop rule are the coons. They say they had one drop black blood back in the day was to make more slaves. That's why they had master raping or either having slaves. But not everybody had a master raping in their ancestors that was white. You had your servants who married slaves. For example, one of the sites ancestor, her grandmother, so she like white women, because she was white, and her wife, her lesbian relationship, gay marriage to a white woman. And and myself, I just found out in February doing Black History Month on Answer.com that my third grandfather, who like a white man, my great grandfather's grandfather on my mom's side had a white mother, not father. The father 19 was mixed because they always say he was Creole. But as I was tracing my great grandmother Edna, who's white ancestry, I traced it back to England, the 1500s, and that was the only ancestor on Answer.com I can trace that far back. It was a white woman, and her white male ancestors and everything. I mean, the Bacon, the Bug family, the Bacon family, because she was married to Collins. So we can relate it. And the Collins probably came from Louisiana. On the dad's, I cannot find her first husband's records, but I can find the white husband she married, her second marriage, and she had a daughter by her. And so, and like I said, my great grandfather, I was raised on my mom's side of the family. I was on my dad's side of the family. So, and even I knew that I was mixed from that side of the family because, like me, I don't have that much hair. My skin is not dark chocolate. And my dad, 30 years ago, told me that we have Native American ancestry, which is very true, okay? That's very native not to have hairy bodies. I get questioned, do you shave your legs? And I don't, okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm 37. And, why my skin so smooth? You know what I'm saying? So that's why, because that's that native, indigenous, and also the Asian, because our Native American ancestors came from Asia, before they conquered here, before some white man claimed that he found him when he didn't. And so I know there was also white in the family as well. So y'all already know my story. I'm going to go in detail because I got 16 minutes and I got to get ready to go wash the clothes and give me some, get some breakfast and some grub on before I go to work. But the reason why I'm talking about this is because I get attacked constantly from all over, from stupid ass American people who are racist. Why do I claim mixed heritage? Do I hate myself? How do I hate myself? And it's in my DNA, The reason why that I talk about this, because the miseducation in the public schools, both the white racist people and the Afrocentric dumbass people, both of them dumbass folks who want to make this agenda to be hidden. And I'm sorry to say this to the Pocho-minded people who want to claim to be mestizo but have African DNA besides mestizo, who don't want to mix in as well, but they get so butthurt when someone like me acknowledge all my roots when they don't, And so you have all these people trying to hide that gender. You even have, back in the day, Native American people, if I met them from out the reservation, proudly claim me. For real, I'm not making it. But now I'm meeting people with that Afrocentric one-drop rule mindset. That's all on Facebook. anti-Afrocentric, whatever, native group, whatever it was. And I understand, I do disagree with the idea that I wouldn't doubt there were African descended people before Columbus here, but I wouldn't sit here and say, yeah, everybody come from Africa. I agree with that, okay? But when you look at indigenous people, they look more Asian than African, okay? You know what I'm saying? And I guess that idea came up. Well, of course, a white woman wrote a book about that or something like that. Someone wrote a book about that, about the Columbus, which just makes sense because the pyramids and stuff. But I'm not going to sit here and say that all the indigenous people were from straight out of Africa and didn't come from Asia. I disagree with that high yellow brother who's making that comment, okay? Indigenous people are just 100% black, but their hair texture, their features, all that's different compared to someone that came out of Africa. You know what I'm saying? Although, yes, we all come from the Adam and Eve that was in Africa, when all the continents were connected. People don't forget about that, and that's why I kind of agree. But I wouldn't sit here and believe that the African people that came on the ship were, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of weird to hear that. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that's true or not true. It's just kind of weird that it's very true. Because, you know, you see the pictures, because the other Native Americans were darker than the Europeans. I mean, that's why they enslaved them first before they bought the Africans. Okay, come on, let's be real, okay? But the truth of the matter is that that came up, and then we have Henry Gates Jr. lying to the celebrities on African American lives and not mentioning that the DNA tests do not go all the way far back to Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? And folks spending hundreds of dollars, now they're trying to make it $99 like on Instagram, and I refuse to take those tests. Like Mariah Carey told George Lopez, no swab for me, because y'all want to measure someone else's DNA and say, oh, they're more this and that, and discredit them for claiming their roots, and then lie and say that, oh, that's what you are, you're not native, when actually we'll use Jessica Alba, for example. And I'm glad to someone who's part Chicana, okay, who's part white. This woman, I can tell, had African features, African DNA in her. When she was on George Lopez tonight, they said that she had no African or Asian in her. That's a lie. But when she came on with Henry Gates Jr., and Henry Gates Jr. has a past lying on folks' heritage when they had Ben Affleck, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad they hacked that computer and found out that it was the case. Then I knew that was going on. I assumed it, and my assumption was correct. Well, when it showed her DNA test, it did prove that, because, you know, she had to go by the father. Her father had to be on the show. He didn't have to, because her having her mother's chromosomes we have both my mom and dad chromosomes, because we're men. You have the X, Y, Z, and the X. That's why, okay? When they found out, they actually broke it down. It proved that her dad did have African DNA, and she does too. That's why her lips are big, wide nose. They wouldn't pick up to play a yellow bone chicken honey. Come on now, okay? So, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember Honey McDaniel, but not Honey Gomez or Honey Sanchez. It was Honey McDaniels, okay? And both the parents, her were not of Hispanic descent. Well, I know Loretta McKee, she's mixed and was non-Hispanic origin, okay? And so the high yellow brother was her dad, okay? So, you know, so what happened is, you know, they don't want to mention that because it discredits. I'm glad that 60 Minutes put AfricanAnswer.com on blast for not, and that darker brother who have European DNA, who's mixed, had to mention. Oh, it's a small portion group, but that's all we know. We gotta let people know that not all of their ancestors were slaves. They had African kings and that's good, and I'm for that. But don't sit here and lie for a whole bunch of money either. And it was other DNA testing. So ever since then, people try to discredit us being Native American when actually they're not going in detail that they only can go to the 2 traces of your parents' DNA, like 16 generations, 8 generations. So they're not explaining all that. And you spend a whole bunch of money. And what got me was a Creole brother named Wayne Joseph. And they said he had 0 African in him. He lived as a black man, you know, with a black identity, the one-drop rule. Why would you sit here and say he's 0%? Something wrong with that DNA test. His hair was curly. It wasn't kinky. It was curly. He wore a curly afro. He questions mama DNA. Well, she says she's a black one. She's a high yellow sister, Creole. But she said, I birthed you. Yes, you are my child. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why. But now, People are trying to say we're not indigenous and we only have European African us. And now this is over now they're saying that, well, the indigenous people are black, you know, and I disagree with that argument, you know what I'm saying? So, going back to the situation, we have been told the only one thing. I was watching the video and I'm not with the Israelite situation. Okay, y'all know I'm totally against that cult. So if y'all follow me, do not contact me and do not call me a faggot because I never had sex with a dude and trying to, so stop fantasizing, okay? Because I get tired of hearing y'all coming around knowing that I can get your ass in trouble. I'm either a sellout, but I'm part of the quote-unquote Hebrew race, and you want to kill me? That's not of love. That's not brotherly love right there. Overnight, only time you can kill me if I try to kill you. That's what I believe in, okay? So what happened was, I watched one of their videos, and some of their videos were correct, that when the slaves came here, the white man gave that nigga ideology. And that's why you have stupid ass Conan brothers call themselves niggas. And wonder why we get shot by police because they're perpetrating that negative stereotype of being black, when black is not bad, but you perpetrate, you're not showing a positive image, a positive role model for our people. And so, of African descent, since we are a part of the African race, even though we're not 100%, we're part white and American too. And so, that's why. And so, when I hear that, and I hear folks say, you're a nigga, you ain't mixed, you're a nigga. And I'm looking at the terminology they're using is very slave-minded, plantation-minded. It's not intelligent. It's anti-black on their end. It's not pro-black. You wouldn't say nigga. You wouldn't say that. You wouldn't defend a rule that was used to rape the ancestors in order to make more slaves for having black blood. You know what I'm saying? You'll be against it, and you wouldn't be against us claiming all of our rules because it make white racist people who did participate in that look stupid and immoral and savage and thug and rapist, as Donald Trump would say about Latino immigrants and also later on Hispanic people, I mean African American people too, about Black Lives Matter, okay? So that's why you could not sit here. So I'm not being the coon, y'all. Y'all ought to be in the coon. You wouldn't let a white racist person's ideology determine now your livelihood. I understand they don't see you as this, but you want to hang around a white individual, and I say keyword individual because not all white folks think this way, because I met those who don't. But the ones who do, I get my ass away from them. I don't want to be their friends. They're some cousins of mine. I don't want to be friends. No, we're not coming to no family reunion. Hell nah. You don't respect me for who I am, I don't even fucking respect your ass either. So that's the difference there. So we're not told, we're told to use the black heritage for derogation, for degrade us, to exploit us racially, stereotypes, and stereotype to call us up the N-word and try to use that as something positive. Ain't nothing positive. If that's the case, slavery was positive too. Jim Crow and lynching and everything else, and all other stuff, dehumanized us was positive. You can call the N-word positive, whether it be the A-R or E-R or the I with the A. It's stupid. So that's the reason why I have to let you know that we're told, we get laughed if we told it. And one thing about me, I don't mind being, outcast by my enemies. And not, as long as it doesn't hurt my, career. Even if I still, without money, I still gonna claim the truth. You ain't gonna pay me to be lie and get hurt by a lie later on. There's nothing that happens, okay? So that's why that I tell the truth on my channel. I'm not gonna deny my roots. That's who I am. That's how my ass got here. Not just I would look in the mirror. I don't see Akon in the mirror, and I'm not gonna pretend just to make someone else feel good. But we are African, European, American. This is my homeland compared to someone like Donald Trump. I don't need to go to fucking Africa. We can go back to fucking Europe, okay? Well, he got no native DNA, but I do. When I look in the mirror, you see my shirt off because it's hot sometimes, even with this air conditioning, my fan just broke. You know what I'm saying? But I got this air conditioning, it's still got like this brick apartment. You see hardly no hair, but you see a white person who's 100%, they are fucking hairy. They don't look like native people, but I have a more native look than they do. I look more African, yeah, but I don't look 100% African. You know what I'm saying? So this is my land. I don't need to go to no Africa. Yeah, I go to Africa when I choose to, not by someone else's dumbass choice. Fuck those who want to make that choice. You don't make choices for me. I make my own. I'm not a slave on a fucking plantation, you idiots. And then I had people say, well, you made the ancestors in Africa cry But excuse me, where were their asses when we were getting beat, knocked in the head, raped? And I'm sorry to say this, but they participated in the African slave trade too. And still going on slavery, and besides Sudan, it's still going on in other parts of Africa too. So don't get butthurt about me claiming my other roots that's part of me, because your ancestors who were kings and queens gave my African ancestors to my white ancestors. That's how my ass got here along with the American DNA. I don't need to prove to nobody a damn thing. So if I'm true of who I am and I'm telling the truth, that's who I am, that's how my ass got here, I ain't no reason to fucking lie about that. I ain't spending wasting time not doing my homework when I was in middle school to when I was in college now. I ain't failed my classes in college just to find out who I'm reading because a white racist fucking lie about the one drop rule to dehumanize me and to hurt me and to destroy my livelihood and make me look stupid from the whole fucking world. That was the whole purpose of nothing positive about the one drop rule, and it's not even a law no more since 1967. So I have to say this: we don't get a chance to know who we are. We get lied and we tell people who we are, we get ridiculed. And I ain't perfect. The reason why I have a problem doing it, tell the truth and even deal with the bullshit. And I'm in the cuss, Lord forgive me, because Jesus said to tell the truth who he was, and they did him the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't perfect, but I do believe in him, you know, and I know I'm not acting like I do right now. But that's between me and him. I got nothing with y'all idiots here on earth who need to worry about your salvation, not mine. But that's how I look at it. So we don't get a chance to tell. I check 3 boxes. Do you know how many times I have to correct people about that? That's who we are. When I look at me, I don't see no Akon. I'm sorry. I might see some features and hair texture, but I don't look 100% of that. And I'm not going to lie. And you want colorism to stop? Then stop perpetrating colorism when you with that one drop. Man, we're mixed. Even the dark-skinned people who are mixed from Africa.